Hi, baby.
Welcome to the... Oh, that's so cute.
Hi. Welcome to the INTJ and Cat Show. I'm your host, INTJ, and this is my cat, Rhea.
Oh.
She will burn the house down if we let her, but it's a rainy day today.
She's an ENTJ.
So she's thinking about taking a nap.
Since we're whispering, I'm going to whisper too. I'm going to talk very softly. Today's podcast is going to be calm because it's raining outside. That's actually adorable. What if we just have our little blankies on like we're old ladies? I feel like we should be knitting.
Oh, I need my needles.
Oh my gosh, I just realized you actually do knit.
I do knit.
Guys, I wasn't kidding when I said INTJs are old men. Or old women. They do old people activities.
I kind of want to zoom out just a smidge so we can see her actual face.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna zoom out and maybe tip it so you can see our little kitty.
Cute.
Oh.
You ruined everything.
I'm sorry. All right, guys, we're going to try this again. ENFP was an ENFP and scared the cat away. Nope, she's gone. She's out the building. She was like, nope.
You sat down so aggressively.
I'm so sorry.
You aggressively sat down.
On one of these episodes, we want people to send in pictures of their pets so we can type them. Mm-hmm. Now, you're welcome to do that now, but we're probably not going to do it for a while just because we need more people flowing in so we have plenty of pets to look at. So anyway, if you want to send us a picture of your pet, send us your turtle, your fish, your cat, your dog, your horse. You can find our email. It's just ENFP and INT. I think it's ENFP and INTJ show at gmail.com. Yes, I was right. ENFP and INTJ show at gmail.com.
She'll put it in.
I'll put it either on the screen or in the description or somewhere.
Put it on the screen like an infomercial.
Okay, infomercial. We're two little old ladies doing our infomercial.
Do you have a pet? Would you like to know their type from one person who might be qualified and one person who's definitely not qualified?
This is really just an excuse to see your cute animals.
We'll judge them.
She'll judge them. I just think they're cute. Hi, I'm ENFP. I'm a certified practitioner with the Myers-Briggs Foundation, and this is...
INTJ. I like patterns. She actually took a class, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you, and a certified Myers-Briggs practitioner. Yeah.
Sorry, I just was going to say, I think most people would think you are.
I think I give off a more serious energy about this.
You do, and like half the time I don't know if it's ADHD or something, I'm not listening, or I'm not good at listening on the show sometimes, and so...
On the show?
See, this is what happens is she reads me, and then it's not till after when I'm in post editing, because of course I do all the work here. When I am in post editing, I don't notice that she was reading me. I'm like, either I didn't notice or I am so used to her reading me and shading me all the time. It just like, whatever, I just ignore it. What is today's topic?
Dynamic duos.
Dynamic duos.
Batman and Robin.
We're talking about Myers-Briggs pairings, and I want to explain why this
Ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup and peanut butter and jelly. The reason I was inspired to do this was a comment on TikTok from someone named Gekume. I hope I'm saying that right. And he said, or she, I think it's a he based on his profile picture, I'm assuming. He says, what's your guys' opinion on an INTJ woman and INTJ man being in a romantic relationship? Now, we can answer that question in a minute, but that inspired me because I basically responded to him in my opinion, this is my opinion, not INTJ. I responded saying, that definitely is unconventional. Generally, opposites attract. That's what we tend to see. I mean, Exhibit A.
Not full opposites, though.
Not full opposites, and we will talk about that as well in a minute. But my answer to him was, generally opposites attract. In my opinion, for whatever that's worth, in my opinion, any two types can make it work. I think you have to be very mature, very healthy. You can make anything work. Sure. Oh, look who came back.
Meow, meow. Okay, baby. Stay calm.
Okay. Guys, Rhea is in the room. She is walking around. I will not move. Which is important. Someone on TikTok commented, they're like, someone give ENFP a fidget spinner. I was like, I know.
I know.
It's really bad.
You need to be very quiet.
Okay.
And sit very still. Hi, baby.
Hi, honey. Come here.
I told you to sit still and you pat the couch.
Oh, nope, she went to the other couch. Well, sometimes she likes when I reach my hand out because she's like, oh, scratches, but sometimes...
But now to get to what we were talking about, dynamic duos, I think romantic relationships are kind of a big topic, but I think you can talk about like friendships too.
Yeah, so obviously the commenter was referring to romantic relationships, which we will touch on, but we're also just talking about friendship in general. In a future episode, we've hinted at it, but I want to talk about family dynamics as its own thing. We can maybe touch on that here, but I think we'll make different episodes that kind of cover family dynamics because it's an interesting topic.
So INTJ and ENFP are pretty much a classic duo.
That's kind of why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
And somehow I've ended up with an INTJ female best friend. And I feel super lucky for that. At some point, we could talk about how we met and everything, but
I moved into your house.
you moved in my house, basically, which she lived here for like almost a year and we never talked,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny. That's its own story. But anyway, we became best friends. And that's kind of part of this because here's the lore behind the podcast.
We decided to monetize our friendship.
We decided to monetize our friendship if we can actually make money on this thing.
And if not, we're having a good time.
We're having a good time anyway. Because not only did I end up with a female INTJ best friend, which in my opinion is pretty rare, I've only met 2, maybe 3 female INTJs. Anyway, this is one of them, and we became best friends. And somehow I ended up with Miss INTJ here, who at the time didn't know too much about Myers-Briggs, but honestly, at this point, she probably knows more than I do. So that's why we started this podcast, is just because I love Myers-Briggs. I somehow ended up with a best friend that loves Myers-Briggs, and we're the ENFP INTJ duo, and we seem to entertain people. We entertain ourselves anyway. When she gets home from work, we usually just sit around and talk about Myers-Briggs anyway. Let's just film ourselves doing that and wear cute outfits while we do it.
I do like a cute outfit.
This really is just an excuse to wear cute outfits.
So INTJ and ENFP are a really good duo.
Yeah.
I think another one that's probably like the pinnacle of like awe
Cute,
in relationships is the ENTP INFJ.
Yep.
Like if you watch a movie and you see that, you're kind of like
It's very, if you guys have seen Little House on the Prairie,
mom and pa.
Ma and Pa, it's my mom and dad. My mom's INFJ, my dad is ENTP, so I grew up with that dynamic. It's so sweet. It's really a sweet dynamic. Now, this is what's interesting. It's like my mom, INFJ, also really loves ESTP personality type. And a few of her boyfriends were ESTPs. I could have ended up with an ESTP dad. Isn't that crazy?
That'd be wild.
I would have been wild.
Like it's interesting because to me, one of the biggest things in finding people that you want to connect with on a deeper level, either like romantically or in like a deep friendship way, where you're like, oh yes, these are my friends, is like there's a commonality in the in, like whether it's introverted intuition or extroverted intuition, and I think it might be more so for someone that's an INTJ because so much of my world is based off of NI.
I couldn't imagine you with an S.
Like my mom is an ESTJ and I love my mom, but it does feel sometimes like we are in completely different languages.
I could be wrong about this, but I believe Carl Jung, I think it was Carl Jung, said that the dividing factor in the types is sensing and intuition. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it was someone else who said that, but I definitely agree with that. I don't know your people's experience, but I would say that's true. A lot of people think, oh, it's extroverted versus introverted. No, it's sensing versus intuition really seems to divide the types.
Like it really feels like a language that you speak.
Yeah.
That you can learn the other language.
And we all have the other.
And we all have the other language, but like my intuition is my first and dominant function.
Yeah.
Which means you've got the dominant, auxiliary, tertiary, and then
inferior.
So my inferior function is now in sensing. So that's a lot of like land to traverse to get there.
Yeah, you have to live quite a lot of life. And not only that, you have to develop healthily.
Yeah. Where like an ENTJ, their functions, like their auxiliary and tertiary, are right next to each other. It's a closer journey.
Yeah.
Because their dominant function is going to be extroverted thinking.
True. I
think that can be like super, super beneficial. I think it can be a really positive thing to people who, like, if their functions are not their dominant function.
Right.
So I think it's interesting that your mom, who also is a dominant intuitive type, a dominant introverted intuitive type, like really found connection with a lot of sensing types.
Yeah. Well, it's like for me being ENFP, there's definitely some S types, specifically we talked about this in the other. I was an ESTP and ISTP. I love ESTP, ISTP. One of my closest friends is an ISFP. So it's not to say it's like they're aliens to us or something, right? We're all human. But S's, I think why they're so different is S's are very concrete, in reality, literal. In a lot of ways, it's a lot like thinking in its traits, even though you can be an S and also a feeler. S is very much based in reality, what is real and concrete, and N's exist in a different plane of existence almost. Like, I find intuition so fascinating because in a way it is a sense, right? It's a sixth sense, but it's not like the senses. It's kind of more right-brained, in a way, if you can think of it like that. It's abstract. And so I understand why the S's and the N's just find each other fascinating and sometimes frustrating, because we are in different worlds. And now, again, to be fair, even as intuitive people here, we still use our sensing throughout the day, duh. Like, we're going to be using our sensing, but we don't exist in it the way that an S-type would. So on that note, typically you're going to find that S-types end up romantically or friend-wise, like besties, with other S-types. N-types, intuitives, are going to end up with other intuitives. That's typically what happens. However,
that theory of attraction is like you're putting out something into the universe that other people are attracted to, and
law of attraction,
something into the universe that they're attracted to, and so it's not necessarily the magnets opposites attract in that way. We'll get there in a second.
Yeah, that's why I found that comment so interesting about an INTJ with an INTJ. Let me just say, I grew up, as I said, my mom kind of raised us on Myers-Briggs. If you're a Myers-Briggs connoisseur, or you know a lot about it, then you might be familiar with the name David Keirsey. We grew up on the David Keirsey books. So my mom found the David Keirsey, Please Understand Me, in a little thrift store in the 80s, and that's what her introduction to Myers-Briggs was. So we really grew up with that understanding of Myers-Briggs, which is Myers-Briggs, but he kind of had his own little way of doing it, and in a way it was probably outdated. But I grew up with the understanding that opposites attract. And now, yes, I do still agree with that, but he would talk about how each of the 16 types have 2 types that are their best match. And in David Keirsey's books, and maybe it was the same with a lot of other material back then, I don't know, you can let me know if you're a Myers-Briggs nerd, but my type, for example, ENFP, David Keirsey would have said my best match types would be INTJ. Totally agree with that, but he also would have said my complete opposite, the ISTJ, which I highly disagree with.
I would say INFJ.
Most people nowadays, most material I read, it would say for an ENFP, my best match would be INTJ and INFJ, which I agree with so much more. So I don't know if the consensus has changed over time or if that was just a David Keirsey thing, but that is just my opinion, because my mom, for example, an INFJ, the theory still stands with her because she does love ENTP. She loves ENFP. Those would be her best match, but she also loves the ESTP. And that is her complete opposite. So I can't say that it doesn't work for everyone. I know for myself, I'm very drawn to INTJ and INFJ. And that is, it's an almost opposite.
Yeah, there's a pretty popular chart here online, which I have now lost. My brother is I have 2 brothers. And one of them is an INTP, and his wife is an ENFJ.
Yeah.
And they're a lovely pairing. And together, like separated, INTPs and ENFJs both have a tendency
to annoy you?
To annoy me. But together, they kind of cancel each other out on the annoying factors to me.
They work. And
it's just really sweet.
I actually will say I do like the INTP ENFJ dynamic. I also
that's the chart I was the compatibility chart.
Let's put that picture up. Most couples I see that seem really healthy and work really well tend to be opposites. However, I have met a few that they work really well and they're a more similar to each other type. I don't think I've met 2 people that are exactly the same type.
I can't think of that either. I'm still looking at this chart that I pulled up because I found that this chart is really cool, and we're going to put it on the screen.
Yeah.
But it basically shows, it gives it a scale, right? It doesn't say yes or no. It says, think this one through. It could work. It's a one-sided match. It's got a good chance.
That's
or
great.
It's an ideal match.
Yeah.
And you can see INTJ is a one-sided match for a lot of people.
Yeah. Definitely, especially the S types.
Yeah.
Not a surprise. INFJ and INTJ, I just think they're going to have a hard time really connecting well with S-types because of how strong their intuition is.
There's another, I'm going to look for another graphic while you keep talking. And I think it's made more towards INTJs and INFJs, but I think that anyone can relate to it because I think there's a complexity of human nature. So I'm going to find it in you.
Okay. But yeah, I'm going to say something to this commenter. I could be wrong here. Okay, please don't take offense. I could be totally wrong. I do not know you at all. There could be a chance. Could be a chance one of you is typed wrong. I know people don't like it when people say that, like, oh, you're typed wrong. It could be because I genuinely think already INTJs are so rare. And then to have an INTJ woman and INTJ man end up together, I don't know. To me, that would be, one of you might be an INTP or something. But again, listen, I don't know you. Maybe you are genuinely two INTJs together. And, you know, in some ways, two INTJs ending up together isn't crazy to me. Just because INTJs aren't going to get along with a lot of people. Or should I say, like, be able to truly connect to a lot of people. So I could understand why an INTJ would find a lot of comfort in the familiarity.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
Like my brother that's not the INTP, my other brother is the INTJ. And I love talking to him.
Yeah.
And some of it's like sibling, but I have other siblings that I enjoy talking to less than I enjoy talking to this particular brother because we can jump into shorthand with INTJ-ness. Like we can make leaps in our thinking and our talking that I've not ever been able to make with any other type. Where
you know the meme where it's like the meme where like there's the brains and there's regular brain and then it gets a little bit more electric each time. That's like the two INTJs talking to each other. It's like, wow, someone who can actually keep up with me.
Yeah. And so, you know, there'll be points where I'll be talking to you.
Yeah.
Even, and I'll go, hey, with this thought, but what about this? But how about, but you know, and I'll jump all the way to the end and make a conclusion statement. And that was all the information I gave in between. I didn't fill anything else in. And I'll
be like, what?
But, you know, we could start with like Einstein. And I'm like, yeah, but what about, you know, but education is really important to tailor to the needs of the person.
Be like, yeah,
and yeah, but I'll recognize like,
I just try to be
give you any information. It was funny one time I told you something. You're like, yay! I'm like, you don't know. You're like, no, but I'm supportive.
I just try to be supportive.
Yeah. But here's the other one that I was talking about that's pretty popular.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll send that too.
Okay, I'm going to put this picture up right now because it's a great example of what I was just sharing.
I mean, it's two shapes that are a little bit like, it's a circle with like a cutout design and two of them fit together and make the circle. And then there's the INTJ that's like got more complex cutouts to find the person that there's their match.
So it's going to be harder for them to find the match.
You know, the comment is you still haven't found your soulmate. I don't believe in soulmates. I think that like you're going to find someone who's not going to be your perfect match.
Yeah.
And you're going to work hard to become the perfect match to them.
You don't think we're soulmates? I thought we were.
I think we've had to work really hard on our friendship at times.
Oh, we have.
Yeah.
Actually, someday we'll share stories of, actually right at the beginning of our friendship, we went through something really rough.
Yeah.
We almost didn't make it, but we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's all I'm saying is I think that there's an idea that there's maybe someone that's perfectly suited to you. And I think there are people that are better suited to you.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to be attentive and listen and communicate well, I think that you can make just about any type of relationship, romantic relationship, friendship work.
Yeah, I think that is a great way of putting it. And I think it's important to be said because it's our human nature. We want to,
yeah.
And you forget, like you're going to have lots of relationships. You're going to have lots of friendships in your life. It's probably going to be dynamic and change throughout time. So I think that's a good reminder too, is when we're talking about perfect matches and stuff like that, even an ENFP and INTJ, as wonderful and amazing as we are, we have had our issues sometimes.
We fought over a rock once.
We fought over a rock once. That's really pathetic. Yeah. But we did. We fought. We got cranky. We were both cranky.
We were both tired. We both wanted to sit on the rock in the sun.
I was being a 5-year-old and I said, this is my rock. Go sit over on that rock. This is mine.
I think the wild thing on that one, and I could be misremembering, but like we went out to the beach. We found a rock. You didn't communicate at that moment
No.
that you were planning on sitting on that rock.
No, it was just vibes. I thought maybe you'd just pick up on the vibes.
I sat down on that rock because you hadn't sat down on that rock.
Yeah.
And then you were like, this is my rock. I'm like, it's a big rock. We can both sit on the rock. And you're like, no.
You know what it reminds me of? It's totally Rory in Gilmore Girls.
Oh, with the tree.
With her freaking tree.
Yeah.
It was very that. I was just like, hey, she's sitting on that rock, but I like that rock. That's my rock.
Yeah.
It was pretty dumb. Now, that was a silly example. We have had like more serious things.
But
that didn't make or break our friendship.
I mean, but anything can make or break a relationship if you're
That's
not
true.
willing to.
People
like,
have broken up
reconcile.
over ridiculous
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And so that too, like, you know, not that I'm giving like a ton of relationship advice, but
We are going to do that though.
yeah, break up with him. That's my relationship
Dump him.
advice.
I'm
the Reddit comment section.
We are going to do an episode where ENTJ, ENFP, and INTJ give relationship advice. I hope you guys are ready for that. Because none of us are in relationships
currently.
that we know of.
Oh my God, you're probably accidentally in a relationship.
I might accidentally be in a relationship. I might be in several right now. Who knows? But we're going to do that and it's going to be hilarious. I think it might involve us like reading the Reddit stories and like giving our relationship advice.
Yeah, I am the Reddit comment section. I just say dump him.
Okay, anything else to say about the dynamic duos?
Smallville, Lois and Clark.
Yes. Our personal favorite couple on film is the Lois and Clark from Smallville in particular. And if you're a Smallville person, you probably agree. Best Lois and Clark out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked the recent one in the most recent film, but
The
still,
Superman movie that just came out. They did okay.
it doesn't compare.
Yeah, I think like Lois and Clark in Smallville, we were pretty sure we're going. Tom Welling's character, Clark Kent - Superman, is going to be an INFP.
Pretty sure.
Really, really common for male leads in films and movies to be an INFP.
Yeah.
And then Erica Durance.
Durance, yeah.
Yeah, Erica Durance. She plays Lois. And she starts, I believe, season 4 of Smallville.
Yes. Guys,
She
go
comes
watch
in.
it.
Go watch it.
Especially if you love ENTJs.
We think she's an ENTJ, which, as we've established, is a little bit of a rare type to see in a woman.
Yes.
But it's just so, you know, you got the spice in the fire with the playfulness and the calm.
Yes. And what I love about it is all of a sudden season 4 comes and Lois enters the game. And it's like you see this side of Clark come out that you hadn't seen the whole time. She brings him out. It's like she brings out this fun, kind of sassy side of the INFP. And that's what I love about I just love most of the Myers-Briggs duos, if they're opposites attract. I love pretty much all of them because once you put like an ENTJ and INFP together, I wouldn't normally be drawn to those two types on their own, but when you put them together, they're so perfect.
Every type of dynamic duo we talk about is they bring something out in someone else. My friend Kelly talks about the balloon and the string theory, where every relationship, like one of them needs, this is your opposites attract, but like one person is the balloon and one person is the string. Apart, neither things are that fun because a balloon will just float away and a string will just fall to the ground.
Yeah.
But together, they tether each other.
I'm offended by that.
What?
I'm sorry. Am I not fun? Am I not fun? Just all on my own right here.
Okay, did you identify as the balloon or the string in this conversation?
Doesn't matter.
I think
what she's implying is that two people aren't fun until they're put together, and I take offense.
It's
to
within romantic relationships. We're not in a romantic relationship.
No, I'm talking about that too, because that also kind of implies like you two aren't fun and interesting until you're together.
You don't need a relationship to be whole.
No.
I mean, you need connection to be whole. You don't need a romantic
My point is, I understand what she's getting at. I just didn't like specifically like, oh, they're not fun. I mean, they are not fun, a balloon and a string all on their own. But cats think a string is fun.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to get cats,
Maybe
geese like balloons floating out in space.
I mean, I could make use out of that string. I could make it into something fun.
Look, it's okay, but I was using the balloon and the string as like, it becomes more than the sum of its parts.
Okay. All right.
And I think like in friendships and romantic relationships and anything, you become more than the sum of your parts.
Yeah. Okay. I think that just in my brain that starts to come into you're more now that you're, which like in a way, yeah.
If it's the right partnership and it's a partner that's willing to like actually connect in a partnership, it can be something that's very beautiful and that makes you become more. And that's not very feminist of me to say.
Right.
So I've offended everyone.
Well, maybe you'll get a hater.
Maybe.
I was just going to share, since we're talking about, and you can share too, because I'd be very interested your thoughts on this. Give a little bit of personal experience. As an ENFP, I've not dated an INTJ yet. I hope I do. I hope the next person I date will be an INTJ, but all of the people I have had relationships with, had things with, had romance with, have been surprisingly extroverted. They've all been extroverted people.
I've also dated extroverted people.
Well, I guess that makes more sense for you. For me, that was weird. And to be fair, a lot of my life, this is going to be another conversation for another day, but I was actually very introverted. Not naturally. I am naturally an ENFP. But for a lot of my life, I was introverted. But it was fake introverted, right? Because it was all from various things. Just not being healthy, having a lot of undiagnosed like social anxiety and yada yada. So I actually presented very introverted. I didn't really begin being extroverted again and being my natural self until really just a few years ago.
I've also pretty much dated extroverted people. I think I have dated an ENFP. ENFP men are a little bit harder to find. Not as hard to find as an INTJ woman.
Right.
The thing with an ENFP man, there needs to be a certain maturity level with an ENFP.
Yeah.
Because an immature ENTJ is
scary.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think any type that's unhealthy can be a little scary.
Or just like, if they're not developing themselves, an ENFP, it's a child.
It is.
And that's what I was going to try, is an immature ENTJ still comes off as an adult.
Yeah, a child.
An immature ENFP comes off as a child.
Now the immature is a little different than unhealthy, because immaturity is unhealthy, but there's also other forms of unhealthy, because what I was talking about before is due to various reasons. I masked as very introverted to the point where I really just accepted that I was introverted. I thought I was an introverted type for years, because even for myself, there was nothing about me extroverted. Nothing about me. Even though as a kid, I was more extroverted. So a lot of the people I've had dealings with romantically have
Way to say that.
dealings with, they've all been extroverted types. Quite a few ESTP. They're my kryptonite, guys. They're my kryptonite. ENFJ, one of them.
You weren't in a full relationship, but you dipped your toes in with an introverted type.
Yes, I did. So
You had some flirty.
a recent person was an ISTP, and that was the first. Actually, I did hold hands with an INTJ boy in middle school.
Middle school doesn't count.
In middle school. And then we went on an awkward date that I didn't realize was a date when I was older.
I don't think that counts.
He thought it was, and I didn't know it was a date, and that was really disappointing.
I don't think it counts until you're like an adult.
I think the reason I wasn't, like, these relationships weren't working out because it just wasn't a good dynamic. So what's the personality types and stuff that I really work with? And I was like, well, duh, Siobhan, all of your best friends in life, your closest, best relationships have been INTJs. And it's like, I knew that deep down, but I finally accepted it, that I'm like, okay, ESTPs are my kryptonite. I love them. I have so much fun with them, but they're not, for me personally, it was an unhealthy attraction. It was a very shallow attraction. Whereas I know that personally, for a life partner, I need an INTJ, maybe an INFJ. That's what works best for me. Hey, INTJs.
They're not real.
I'm looking at you.
Okay. So to summarize this episode, heal from the trauma of everyday life.
Yeah.
And become who you were meant to be.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be any type.
To summarize with the relationships, I think that any two types can work. I remember there was an INFP and an ISFJ in a relationship, and I'm like, that actually strangely couldn't work. It's a little weird, but if they are two mature adults that can make it work, baby.
Yeah.
Make it work, baby.
Put in the work to make relationship work, because you might have someone who's well suited to you, but they're not going to be the perfect match for you. You have to create the perfect match. And you can't control what they're going to do. Hopefully, they're going to be engaged in friendship or partnership and want to also put in the work to be the right match to you.
Yeah.
But, and if they're not, reconsider that.
Dump him.
Dump his ass.
Dump his ass. Before we go, I was going to ask you, do you have any favorite duos? Like, do you have any favorite duos of the types? Or like maybe some like top 3
I think
type duos.
the ENTJ INFP is it's just fun to watch.
It is.
I do like, I mean, it's biased, but the INTJ ENFP duo.
It really is the black cat
like,
golden retriever.
Even when we watch it like on TV, it's like I understand why it's so entertaining.
And it's very popular in circles and in film even. Most popular right now is Wednesday and Enid. We haven't watched it to confirm if
Wednesday and Enid.
we haven't watched it to confirm if they're an INTJ and ENFP, but the internet seems to think so.
But like,
so.
there's the houses in LA.
Oh, the black and colorful. Show the picture.
I think that's my favorite duo. Those 2 houses in LA.
Okay, what are their types? Probably you could put several.
The answers may surprise you.
I would say that colorful house would be ESFP, ENFP, ISFP, INFP, anything like that. And then the black house is going to be INTJ, ISTJ, INTP, any of those.
Yeah. What are your favorite duos?
My favorite duos.
Oh, I like Big Bird and Oscar.
Hey, stop. I need you to take this podcast seriously.
You don't like Bert and Ernie?
I need you to take this show seriously for once in your life. ENTJ and INFP for sure. INTJ and ENFP, of course. The ENTP and INFJ. We touched those, so I'm trying to think of one that we haven't touched that I really like. I think honorable mention to the ESTJ and ISFP. They're so opposite. It's like the ENTJ and INFP, so opposite. I guess they all are. Like, these are all opposites, right? But it's just they work. And it's like, how? How do they work? But they do. It's really cute.
I like that duo.
Oh, Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets.
Yeah. I think that's like an ESTJ and...
something. My favorite from the Muppets is Rizzo the Rat and...
Gonzo. I am here to tell the story, and I am here for the food. Oh, they say that they're an ISTJ and ENTJ.
I can see that. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sure there's so much more we could say on the topic of the dynamic duos, but of course we never want these to go on too long. So we can always revisit the topic in the future.
I feel like every episode we could do a follow-up of 4 or 5.
Yeah. So plenty of these topics we can revisit. And if you want us to revisit them or you have questions that were unanswered today.
Or opinions that you want us to react to.
Anything.
Tell me, do you like Christmas? Do you have unresolved childhood trauma?
Causal correlation.
I think that's all we have to say.
Yep.
Watch Smallville, season 4.
Bye, guys. I got to go pick up a palm tree. See you later.
I'm going to make potato soup.
This skirt was a fantastic purchase. Thank you, everybody. All right. See you later.